So I'm here and I'm going to interview a Benidorm legend who's going to be coming down here right now. Can you see who it is yet? A Benidorm legend coming down the stairs, down the lift.
Hello. Hello, Ken. All right.
All right. It's Benidorm Tom. Who's very kindly agreed to have a chat with me for the next 5 minutes or so.
How you doing?
Shall we go to your place then?
It's like being back in the mines, you know.
Oh, get me JD. So we're going places where not a lot of people have been here, aren't we? It's really hard to call you Andy and not Tom. It's so hard.
Well, nobody knows you. Right, we'll set this up.
Right, okay. Put that there. Switch that off now. Oh, yeah, I am with the Benidorm legend. Absolute Benidorm legend, the fantastic Benidorm Tom.
Hello.
Hi, how long have you been here, Tom? Couple of questions.
10 years. This year, I've got a 10-year anniversary show at Benidorm Palace on the 28th of September this year. I got a few friends coming over, Harry Cambridge, Luther Vandross, Tanya Alboni, Darren Alboni, Mick Hacknell, one of the winners of Stars in Our Eyes 1993, I think.
I know, Darren.
Yeah, so they're going to come, and we've got the full band, 10-piece band, and tickets are going great. We've still got about 4 months before to sell the rest of the tickets. There's about 200 left, I think. So if you're going to come, make sure you get a ticket. And that's it, really. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, what got you into, what were you doing before you were doing Tom Jones, and how did you get into being Tom Jones?
I did a show with, do you know what? I think I'm going to drop the voice just for the rest of the year.
That's fine.
I'm going to spoil your illusion here, but I don't think I can keep it up for how long we do this interview. But yeah, you'll probably find me dropping back into it. But, I did Stars in Our Eyes myself in '94. I think it was when Leslie Crowther stopped and Matthew Kelly took over, and I got asked to do it. I was in an original band. I got asked to do it, and I didn't really want to do it. But
did you do it as Tom?
No, I did it as Michael Bolton.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and that started the tribute scene.
Right, okay.
Not me, but those 2 years of that show more or less started the tributes. There was about 20 of us, I think, at the time. Rob Lamberti, Jack Danson, Dieter Graham, Steve Steinman, Steve Murray. Quite a lot of us. There was Maxine Barry.
Sugar Bassett.
Yeah. Barry Steele. I forgot his name now. Shouldn't do. He was Roy Orbison. Bless him. And yeah, there was we all used to advertise at the back of the stage. I remember that.
I remember the back of the stage.
And that's how you got your shows. And I remember the first show I did, Michael Bolton, was a charity event at Great Ormond Street Hospital at the Dorchester. And they paid me well, paid the train, first class train, and I thought, this will do. This is all right.
Right, okay, so
that's how I stayed in doing tribute, because it was just a new thing, and we thought it was going to last for a couple of years, and that was it. Yeah.
So why transition from? Oh, we shouldn't use that word now. Why go from Michael Bolton to Tom?
Just a minute, let me move this bra.
Yeah. I'm identifying as Tom Jones.
Yeah, fantastic.
So why the change from?
I'll be dead honest with you. I did a show, an agent rang me and he said, I'm putting you on with the Tom Jones tribute. And at the time, I'd been doing a voice impression show, singing impressions. Tom was one of those, but I didn't ever do it in a show. You kept it as a thing that I was going to do. And we ended up doing some prison clubs, you know, the staff have a social club.
Yeah.
I ended up doing 4 of those, and I turned up, and this Tom Jones guy turned up. He was rock and roll. He was on Yeah, he was hitting, he was hitting everything. And bless him, he wasn't brilliant, you know. He was like, and I thought, surely I could do that. I know I can do that.
Right.
And it gave me the sort of, so I ended up sort of thinking, if this ever sort of stops, I'm going to give that a go. So I did. Eventually, like a couple of years later, I just thought, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Brilliant.
And I did one of my first shows with TJ Slater. Can you remember TJ?
TJ Slater.
He did Stars in Rise. He was fantastic as Tom. He really was good. Yeah, he was great. A nice guy. And we did the Hard Rock Cafe. It was in London because Tom was doing Hyde Park.
Okay.
So we did a show at the Hard Rock Cafe for the competition winners with Sky. And that was one of my first shows.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So straight into the thick of it and not look back really. It's been about 24 years now.
Brilliant, because we were having a chat earlier on. I didn't realise we'd actually worked together.
Yeah, incredible.
I never even knew that. It's strange, isn't it, how you know so many people from back home. Yeah. So, would you go back to the UK? Are you quite happy here?
No. I won't go into it on this, but the reason I wanted to get out of the UK was I could see the writing on the wall of what's going on now, and I just thought, nah.
Yeah, sorry, Paul's dead. Yeah.
And my wife obviously does the same. She's in the same business, so she was going one way for 3 days, 4 days. I was going the other, or I was going on a ship, and our lives were just not working. And we had a small 2-year-old, 3-year-old at the time.
Yeah.
So it was a decision that's why we sort of thought, nah, we need to change this, you know.
Have you ever been mistaken for the real Tom Jones? Because you don't half look like it.
Recently, yes.
Have you had to go grey as he's gone grey?
Yeah, I did that. When I did the Pier for Trevor Chance, 2009, I think, to about 2012, it was the darker Tom. And then all of a sudden, just before that period, he obviously just left it and went, he's sort of grey. And I was looking at how to get that right, and I couldn't get it right. Until I got it right, I thought, I'm just going to carry on. And eventually, you know, like we do with this business, you experiment and you try all these different things to get the look right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference now. With no disrespect to anybody doing a tribute, I was lucky to be there at the beginning, and I was in awe of some of the people. You know, Bernie Wenton, who used to do.
Yeah.
Each one of those, Rob Lamberti was he came into it a year after me or around the same time. And nearly every one of them, there was Jerry True, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart, yeah.
Every single one of them looked, sounded and talked. As soon as they walked on the stage, it was like, you could see people's faces going, oh,
wow.
You know, people would really go for it. You could sell what you were doing to the audience.
Yeah.
And if you looked the same, you sounded the same, and you did the whole thing, people bought into it straight away. And that's what tribute was in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's lost its way a bit now. But
well, it has. I mean, some of the tributes in the UK. I'm not going to mention any names.
No.
I'm not going to slag anybody off for them.
No. We don't need to.
Some of them are just hideous.
Yeah.
You know, but
it doesn't. I said about 6-7 years ago that the good ones will always work and they will rise to the top. Gary Ryan.
Oh, Gary. Yes. Yeah, Gary's fantastic. Gary Mullen as well. Gary
Mullen, Gary was incredible. Amazing. And he's had a great career from it. So tribute is what it is. And some people hate it and some people love it. And at the end of the day, if you take yourself serious and you think that you're the person, then you've got the problem, not.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But if we do an act like you do, you've developed and crafted what you do over the years.
I've still not got it right. I still try.
Well, you're successful, so you must be doing something right. But everybody that's doing all right, and I mean, I look at this. My daughter said, "Oh, don't you worry about next year, you know, with contracts and things. You know, when we used to get the contracts from the post." And I go, "No, I should do, but I don't, because you've got to be confident in yourself and what you do.
Yeah.
You know the work will come. You know.
Yeah.
You always, and I think if you're the act that reinvents yourself and keeps things fresh, keeps going, you're always going to work.
Would you ever go back to doing Michael Bolton?
No. I've lost probably nearly 2 octaves now, so
Right, okay.
I've matured. My voice, that younger voice is gone.
Have you ever met the real Tom?
Right up there. I have actually. 1995, I was working in Sun City for Sun International, and he came to
Was that Medley Artists?
It wasn't. It was for Peter McLeod. I was managed.
Oh,
by
a
Bolton.
lovely man was.
Yeah, I've just spoke to him actually. He's still alive.
Pardon?
He's still alive.
He
Yeah.
must be about 160. That's ridiculous.
Someone that worked for him came to the show a few weeks ago, and she said, "Oh, I don't suppose Peter's still alive." She went, "Of course he is." And I went, "No."
Was he Benjamin Button? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I mean, he used to drink quite well, and he'd always have a cigar on. But it's, you know.
Lovely man.
And so she gave me his number. I rang him, and I said to him, "Is that Peter McLeod?" He went, "Yes." You know, I remember his voice. I said, "Yeah, I've got a great act, and I wondered if you'd think about managing me." "Oh, I don't do that anymore." And I said, "All right, hi Peter, it's Andy Wood." And he went, "Andy Wood? Oh my word." Blah, blah. So I was on the phone good 45 minutes. It was great.
Brilliant.
And he's still the same. He's lovely.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant. So you're saying you met Tom?
Yeah, 1995 for Peter. I went out and did a contract, and then they invited me or wanted to keep me on for the next 5 months. So I stayed on, and we were doing a show, and Tom came for the weekend. We got the weekend off, which was great.
Right.
And we watched one of the shows, I think, and then on Sunday was our last night of the week of working. So we always had a party up in the loft, but the band would play, everybody jam, everybody have on the drink.
Yeah.
And he walked in after a show with a big cigar and his
Did
song.
he double take?
No, I wasn't doing Tom then.
Oh right, okay.
I've always had really long hair, and I was mid screaming my head off to Georgia, the Michael Bolton version.
Right, okay.
It's ridiculous, and you know, and they just stopped in the doorway, like watched the rest of it, claps, and I was like, shit, that's Tom Jones. And then he walked to the other side of the room, and I sat down, and everybody's going, God, Tom Jones. And next thing, bottle of champagne comes over, load of glasses, and he just went like that to me. And that, no cameras, no phones.
Yeah.
It didn't get recorded, but
Brilliant.
And I just thought, well, I'm not going to go over because he would have come over or he would have probably said something. So I didn't really, and we all went like that, and he went like that. And he had bodyguards and he saw them and everything. And then he got up and did 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
Just old blue stuff and jamming and just.
Did you not sit there thinking I can do better? Get off the stage.
No.
I can do better than that.
No, I was an international guest artist in that contract, so I wasn't actually doing a tribute.
Right, okay.
I was doing lots of different bits and bobs in the show. So.
Ever had knickers and bras thrown at you on stage?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I always use them. Yeah, I always have a bit of a routine with it. You know, Primark, have a little Primark. You know.
Best gig?
Best gig. See, do you gauge that by how many people are there or how much you got paid?
Sort of most prestigious venue, but the gig that you thought, you know, I absolutely murdered that.
Got to be honest, I think the ones I've recently been doing, because I've got my own theatre show now.
Okay.
So it's a Sex Bomb celebration of Tom Jones. And I've got the most amazing band who are pretty much all my friends, you know, and I've got brass section, I've got my daughter on backing vocals. So it's special.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's really special. So I'm actually loving every show, even though we're sort of only breaking even on a few of them, and some we've lost a bit of money. But
because aren't you doing Blackpool?
We're at Blackpool.
Whereabouts and what date?
25th at the Grand.
25th of?
This month.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm there 24th.
Oh, right.
At the Horseshoe Show, Blackpool Regimes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah. So it's a new show, and I know, you know, we've got to get momentum.
And is it the whole band?
Yeah,
the whole band.
Yeah, we don't scrape it. We did Skegness last week, and we did all right. We were nearly 300 in
Embassy
Skegness.
Centre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work
that. Great show, and everybody loved it. we got the theatre manager rang my partner in the show, and she booked for next year straight away.
Fantastic. I did the Embassy Centre when it was Leslie Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
When it was Leslie Shepherd, and I had about 200 people in. I have some volunteers. Nobody. Oh, God. I need some volunteers. I can't do a show without any volunteers. So I said, ladies and gentlemen, I said, and I begged and eventually, one man. What made it even worse was he had half a leg. So he came hobbling up onto the stage, and I thought, there's no way, I can't do Michael Jackson, I can't do this, I can't do that. These people paid money to see me. So he came up on stage, and I thought, oh, God, he's going to down me out. So I put him under, and I did like the sunbed routine on it when you're getting hot and it's bubbling inside. Oh yeah, I thought, wow, he's doing really well, he's really funny. He's a really funny guy. So I stood in front of him like sleep, and he went like that. And then he opened one eye and he went, how am I doing? All right. He got me right out of the shit, he did. Right out of the shit. Bless him, real old fella.
Oh, bless him.
Well, yeah, and was just, where else are you doing in the UK then?
Where are you? I think the next one is Blackpool. Yeah. Blackpool.
So you're just flying out and doing one off and then flying back again?
Well, I've also got 2 shows in Wales on the Friday and Saturday. Blackpool on the Sunday.
So are the bands based in the UK?
Yeah, everybody's based.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's actually I beat them to the theatres on most gigs.
Fantastic.
It takes
Fantastic.
usually 3 or 4 hours to get there.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question that I always get asked myself.
Yeah.
Worst gig?
Worst gig was again when I used to do. I actually now I'm giving confessions here. When I finished doing the Michael Bolton, I did for about 4 years a Ricky Martin tribute. Look at your face. Yeah, that was the face that most of my friends and colleagues.
Right. Okay.
As well, yeah. No, it came up on the TV, and at the time I was like, the Michael Bolton thing was dropping off, and things were, when things don't, the phone stops ringing.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, I need to, and you can always get away with singing as yourself, but you just don't get the money. So I was working for a company called Dance Attack.
Oh God!
In Nottingham.
Wow! Yeah.
And I've done a couple of shows for him, the Michael Bolton thing. And I rang him up and I said, Scott, I'm thinking of doing a Ricky Martin tribute. Please do it. Please, he said. We're screaming out. We've only just been talking about it in the office this morning. We will give you loads of work. So I did put 3 songs together. And he said, will you audition for us? I went, yeah, come down. So I went to Nottingham, did the 3 songs. I got all the publicity done. I was quite slim then, short hair, the same haircut, clean shaven. And I was 38 when I started that. So I was like, because it's funny because I'd come on some nights and people go, like this, nightclubs with loads of younger people in it, and then I'll be like looking as if saying, how old is he? Well, from a distance, you got But they worked me loads. I had a good 3 or 4 years out.
Fantastic.
Doing that. Yeah, it really did. It served a purpose, at that time. Because I was getting, remember Chicago Rocks?
Yeah.
Jumpy Jacks. What was the other one? There was another one. No, it's not going to come. But there was lots of them. Brannigan's.
Good grief. Yeah.
So I was doing all those through the week, and then at least 3 times after the show in the evening, I was going on to a nightclub.
Yeah.
Doing a nightclub as well. So I was doing 2 shows a night. So
wow. You've been in the business a long time, Andy. You've been in the business. I mean, I've been in the. How long have I been in the business? 42 years.
I was going to say, you must be.
42 years.
Same,
yeah. It's been a good business. I mean, the working men's clubs. I used to love doing the working men's clubs. I mean, my worst show. My worst show was Aqua's Moortop Social Club.
Was it?
Shithole. And I went on stage, and go all as thick as. Can have some volunteers. I got about 3. They didn't go under whatsoever.
Right.
So I said, ladies and gentlemen, I think this was my second show.
Right.
It was my second show.
Yeah.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, I said, I can't do this. I said, so, you know, nobody's volunteering. The ones that have volunteered are no good. Good night. And the constant chairman says, yeah, well, you can see why they've got donkeys in Scarborough. Oh, brilliant!
Hi, mate.
Yeah, I had some good nights in the Wilton Men's Club.
Well, I did. I ended up doing one in the week. I think it was a Tuesday, and it was for who we were talking about, Jeff.
Jeff, Gay Jeff from Big Wigs.
Yeah. And there was 4 people.
Really?
It was a very small, like, room. This club room. There was 4 people.
That
I
was
did the show, and I just kept having a chat with them and like, you know, what do you want to hear? And we had a laugh, and it was 4 people. That's like the worst. He said, the guy's like, I'm really sorry, but do you still want to do it? I went, yeah, I'll still do it. Yeah.
Too professional.
Yeah, did
Too
it.
professional.
And, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I think we've all got stories, haven't we?
I could be here all night.
I know.
I could be here all night, and they all involve looking at
one of the best gigs I've done was working on Seabourn, which is 6-star cruise quest, Seabourn Quest.
Yeah.
It was a new one for an agent in London, Gary, and it was for Holland America. And he said, if you go well on here, they'll just inundate you with work. And at the time, I thought that was me way forward, really. And he said, but the people are very old, so, you know. And I did the show, and this was 2 older ladies came up to me and said, do you know what? Some people left. You are absolutely amazing. Some people left, and we said they've got more money than manners. And I went, oh, well, you know, don't matter. Don't worry, you know. We had a drink. Everybody's having a drink. And it was one of those where you have to host a table.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was a really top thing. So I did it all, and we ended up going through the Suez Canal. And my friend, I saw him on Facebook, he was on the QE2 going from New York in a Beatles band. And he said, oh, I see you're on Seabourn Quest, what's it like? I said, oh, it's fantastic. Brilliant facilities. And I did a show last night, the funny reaction, one of the passengers said, some of the people have got more money than manners. I'd got 10 cruises booked in prior to this with them. Got home, and he rung me and got flagged that I posted that.
Yeah.
And they pulled all the shows out.
Really?
So that was the end of that.
Oh, no.
Which could have been.
You've certainly been a success here, Andy, because everybody knows Benidorm Tom and then Benidorm Tom.
Mm.
You know, it's like you're as famous as Sticky Vicky.
They don't know me, actually, which is good, because obviously I go on and I come off.
So is the beard moustache false? Is the hair?
No, it's all real.
Right.
I'm just not this colour yet.
Right, I've got you.
I'm getting there, but
another couple of years, eh?
They're dragging me kicking and screaming. You know, yeah, but yeah. So it's. Listen, I absolutely love the audiences, and I'm being genuine now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult, and you get negativity with social media.
Of course you do.
Like
absolutely,
everybody does.
Keyboard warriors.
But I'll tell you what, mine is about a 90% success rate with people on social media, and also people coming here time after time to watch the show. Yeah. I know it's free, but you know what? They sit down, and when I walk in, the place is packed. Now, you know what that feeling's like.
Absolutely.
It's not that feeling when you're walking in and there's half a room or there's...
Yeah.
So when you've got that, you know that's the best feeling.
Absolutely.
You know, as an act, you know that.
Yeah.
And so that's the best thing for me. You know, I do what we do, and everybody does the same. And we try our best. I give 100% every night, but you know, people don't realise if we're doing it nearly every night, you know, or 5 nights a week, or 4. It's not easy to be doing it to 100% every night. But I'll give it a go, and it's always a great reaction, and you know, like I said, everybody here is the same, and it doesn't matter what they do here. Everybody's earning a living. Some people get a lot of steak, and you know, I don't have an opinion about it. You know, I just work here. And I think if you're too busy yourself and get into what you do, you don't really notice what other people are doing.
Absolutely.
And you know, I wish everybody the best. To work and just get on with it, you know.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
And you, yeah.
Thank you so much, Benidorm Tom.
Yeah.
You've been an absolute...
Well, it's been great.
Well, we're back again.
And all of a sudden, you know, I've got this thing come up inside of me, and my voice has changed. And I got a bit of a Welsh accent. You can do a Welsh accent, can't you?
No, not very... My Welsh accent tends to sound a bit Pakistani. I'm not very good. I've not been racist before. Anybody gets triggered? It does. I'm crap at Welsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken, and you won't know this, but he's a black belt in chicken tikka masala.
Benidorm Tom.
Thanks, Ken.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go, wherever we hit, nowhere you can hide. Let's go, wherever we hit, there ain't nothing you can do when he's hypnotizing, mesmerizing.